for some fun, kids. With us, we have David L. Miller.
Yeah!
And you're going, who is David L. Miller? Well, that has been a question on some people's minds for a while because he is the man who was behind the Jesus Tattoo campaign. Is that the best way to refer to the entire thing?
Yeah, that's the best way to refer to it, Wes.
All right, now here's the deal. I now have great respect for this man because he was willing to walk through these doors and say, let's talk about it.
Right.
The reason I had a problem with it before is I felt like you were hiding behind some things. So that's the initial question right there. Why did you choose to stay in the background of this whole thing?
Yeah, good question. Jesus Tattoo is really just designed as what I'll call a modern-day parable is what it is. It's just telling the same stories that Jesus told in the Bible, but in a probably more culturally applicable way today. The reason that we didn't come out, and I didn't come out at the beginning and say who was behind it, was we were trying to reach people who may have been turned off by the church, frankly.
Right.
And
but
so,
are you associated with the church?
Oh, sure. I go to a church.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean you're associated
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
I'm definitely. I'll tell you where I go. I go to Aldersgate United Methodist Church. We've been members there for 20 years.
Former Methodist myself.
Yeah.
We'd knuckle up if we were a little closer.
Right. That's right. That's right.
No, I'm the loser over here. I was Lutheran.
Oh, you're the ones that aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Hate to tell you that. They like the ones that sing a lot. Well, the whole campaign thing, I don't even know what to say. Here's the other main issue that I have, and that is I feel like, and this relates to the other stuff that you kind of can't talk about, I feel like you dropped a hot potato and you left us to come up with the answers. So that when the national media called here, when we got pointed out, when people said, what's going on in Lubbock, those of us got the phone calls. We were like, well, we don't have any idea. We don't know what it's about. We don't know who's putting it on. We don't know what the ultimate goal is. I felt like you dropped a bomb and walked away from it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment, Wes. I'll tell you, on the website, we've tried to make it clear there is a place for media inquiries. In fact, we've gotten several hundred people that have reached out to us over the web and we've responded to. But in fairness, to your point, when people wanted to do media interviews at the time, we didn't do it.
Yeah.
And the only reason we didn't do it wasn't because I'm not obviously supportive or willing to stand behind what we said. It was more along the lines of we really didn't want it to be a distraction from the message. I mean, I don't add, frankly, personally a lot to the message.
David, this is where we're going to start splitting the sheets real quick. Yeah. You had a Bahamian address for your website. That's what gangsters do, man. I mean, seriously.
It's guerrilla marketing. It's guerrilla marketing.
It is guerrilla marketing, yes.
It
okay,
is.
Please continue now.
It is. And, if you think about, we didn't intentionally try to hide something from people. We were willing to come out and we did say exactly what we thought about Christianity. The video is infinitely clear about what we think.
Yes.
The language on the site is infinitely clear. I think the point, though, is that we didn't want to have a spokesperson because it's very predictable. And people that have feel judged by the church, have gone into church and not felt comfortable, that's really the people that we reach out to with this message. And whether we were right or wrong, we really wanted to provide people another way to hear the message.
I would never doubt the creativity in which this thing was done. There is no problem with the creativity. It was well thought out. It was well executed, but I just don't feel like that it was proper to not be there to answer these questions.
Yeah, and I think I guess it depends on the type of the question. To your point, we didn't do much except try to answer basic questions about the campaign.
Right.
But we weren't seeking a lot of media. I'll tell you the ones that we were quick to reach out to.
Well, you weren't seeking a lot of media. Come on, you're in that business.
Well, no, here's what I mean by that, Wes.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't seeking to do a lot of media interviews. We thought the message would stand by itself.
Yeah.
The people that we reached out to quickly and had people set up and trained to reach out to are people who were curious to try to understand, what does this mean for me?
Right.
Help me understand the message. Or I have a question, or I disagree, or why are you talking about tattoos, that Christians shouldn't have tattoos? Whatever their argument was, we were quick to reach out to individuals.
Yeah.
We just didn't provide a mechanism or a face for people to interview with the media at the time.
See, it makes sense to me. They wanted it to be about the message, not the messenger.
Well, I understand that too, but what we had here is that we had a situation where national and regional news outlets were calling people like our local TV stations and saying what's going on here, and they had to try to decipher this whole thing, and it just came off a little bit to me like something shady was going on.
I'm going to look at it this way: is the national and local media were just too damn lazy to figure it out on their own, and they got upset when we didn't have the answers.